Jay, I know you've made some comments recently. I know with a discussion with the Wall Street Journal about this very topic. So maybe give us some thoughts.
I think banking is going through once in a 100-year type of a change. But I think banks are so involved where innovation in banking for the last couple of years has been pretty much open up 7 days a week and wow, we're open 12 hours a day, but it's still thinking about the same thing. Small businesses and customers are just going to come to you and you advertise. I think that model is totally broke, but banks are stuck with 15-year leases, and all they're going to be doing for the next 5 to 6 years is going to be focused on how we can put screens on walls, and that is not innovation, ladies and gentlemen, or having smart people work for you. That's not innovation. Okay, innovation is disrupting, and banking is absolutely ripe for disruption. And the big banks are addicted to fees, and big banks are addicted to heavy margins, and all banks, in fact, and community banks. Communities are being redefined. It's no longer a geography is not a community anymore. It's really the customers who share certain experiences and values and beliefs and styles. Those are communities. That's a lot of change. And our banks are thinking this way. They're having innovation labs, which are nothing but a bunch of people thinking about what do we do with our apps. Mobile apps is considered innovation. That is not innovation. That's another channel of distribution to your existing customers. So real innovation, I believe, is happening here with the people sitting in the room and not happening among the banks. And that's why I used to run the 17th largest bank in the nation. We did a lot of bank buying. We had thousands of branches and people. But then I took a little bit of a hiatus and said, let's sit back and what is the future of banking? And the future of banking is not yesterday, and banks are not prepared for the tomorrow, and we can talk about that.
Jay, there's a lot of dialogue and a lot of concern in the industry that, as evidenced by introductions of things like Apple Pay, where some of the larger banks have had a bit of a first mover opportunity, smaller banks are kind of left on the side. Can you talk a little bit about whether you think that some of the smaller banks are at a disadvantage in this changing landscape? Maybe also give us a little color on how Customers Bank differentiates itself.
First of all, I don't think small or big anymore is going to make a difference. It is the way you look at innovation. That is the main difference. And I think Apple Pay, as an example, is another vehicle that it's a wallet. It's rather than you're getting cards and you use a card for a payment processing, now you're using your smartphone for payment processing, and that's essentially what it is. I don't think there's much of a difference between a small bank or a big bank in that sort of a thing. We guys are a $6.5 billion asset bank. We're the fastest growing bank in the United States, and we are part of Apple Pay, with you folks working with us. And that's why the advantage of being big is going to be the biggest disadvantage in the new innovative environment. The advantage of being innovative and partnering with folks who can help you execute is going to be the biggest advantage, and bureaucracy is going to be the biggest impediment to innovation in banking.
Okay. Barry, it looked like you wanted to add something to that. Just obviously first.
I think we started the conversation talking about is innovation, is the banking industry going to be more innovative than it was in the past? And I think the answer is absolutely not, with a period at the end of that sentence. If you look at what's happening today in our industry, the innovation and the disruption is coming entirely from outside of our industry. And when you see that dynamic happening in the marketplace, when the disruption and innovation is all happening outside of the industry and coming into the industry rather than the industry itself recreating itself, you have a fundamental issue of an industry that has not set itself up to drive innovation. And I think your point around a lot of innovation labs being built, I think provide a lot of banks and bankers a lot of false comfort that they feel like they're doing something and it's cool because they've got low cubicles and they've got glass walls and they've got whiteboards. But that stuff does not translate to innovation. Second part of that, I was going to tell you that I think a lot of banks think that they're driving innovation by adopting something like Apple Pay. Apple Pay is really cool, but Apple Pay is not reinventing banking. Apple Pay is a better user experience on top of what we're already doing. And oh, by the way, the guys at Apple Pay that have the new cool user interface are getting paid for that. You're not. You're paying for that. And that innovation that's coming to the marketplace was created by somebody else that all of us as bankers are paying for. So in the future, I think unless the industry finds a way and banks individually find ways to create meaningful change that are going to be consumer-driven and client-driven, innovation is going to continue to happen outside of the industry and force change within the industry.
Thanks, man. You know,